A silent night. Snow fell slowly and gently over the small town of Coal Pine, covering the streets with a serene white blanket. It was Christmas Eve, and the twinkling lights on the houses illuminated the dark sky as if stars had descended to Earth. But on that seemingly peaceful night, something dark lurked beneath the calm surface. Emma, a 17-year-old girl, was setting the table for Christmas dinner with her family. The fireplace crackled in the corner of the room, spreading a cozy warmth. Yet, as she glanced out the window, a chill ran down her spine. She saw a figure standing at the street corner, motionless like a statue, staring directly at her house. Dressed in black, the stranger seemed out of place in the festive scene. "Emma, come help with the decorations," her mother called, snapping her out of the trance. When Emma looked back at the street, the stranger had vanished. Shaking off the unease, she convinced herself it was just her imagination. Later that evening, while her family laughed and sang Christmas carols, Emma couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. She decided to take a quick walk around the house to make sure everything was in order. As she passed the upstairs hallway, the air felt colder than usual. At the end of the corridor, she saw something that made her freeze. There were wet footprints on the floor, leading to the guest room. They were small, like those of a child. Trembling, Emma followed the trail, which stopped in front of the room's door. Gathering her courage, she slowly opened it. Inside, there was no one, just an old doll sitting on the bed, its eyes seeming to follow her. Cold Pine's dark past. The next day, Emma couldn't forget about the strange doll. When she told her mother, she got a light laugh in response. "It's probably your grandmother's doll. She loved collecting them," her mother said distractedly. But Emma knew that doll didn't belong to their family. Intrigued, she decided to visit the local library to research the town's history. There, she found something that sent chills through her. Coal Pine had a dark past marked by tragedy. In the 1950s, a series of child disappearances shocked the community. The investigations never led anywhere, but rumors spoke of a mysterious figure that appeared around Christmas time. While reading old newspaper clippings, Emma noticed a blurry photo of a sinister-looking man. He wore a black coat and had a piercing stare. Her heart skipped a beat. It was the same figure she had seen on the street corner the previous night. When she returned home, Emma found the doll in the middle of her bed. She was sure she had left it in the guest room. The doll held a folded piece of paper in its cloth hands. Nervously, Emma unfolded the note, which read, "It's cold outside. Let me in." Emma ran to her mother, but when she tried to show her the doll and the note, both had disappeared. "You've been working too hard at school," her mother said, trying to reassure her. But Emma knew she wasn't imagining things. The Snowman. As Christmas approached, strange events began happening more frequently. The television turned on by itself, always tuned to static. Unexplainable noises echoed through the house at night, and Emma started hearing whispers coming from the hallway. One night, as she looked out the window, she saw the man in black again, standing closer this time, on the sidewalk in front of her house. Desperate, she called her father, but by the time he arrived, the man had disappeared once more. Emma knew she needed help. She decided to confide in her best friend, Lucas. Though skeptical, he agreed to stay over and investigate. They stayed up late, waiting for something to happen. Around 3 a.m., they heard heavy footsteps upstairs. When they went to check, they found the doll sitting at the top of the stairs, holding another note. This time, the message was clear. "You can't escape me." Frightened, they decided to check the attic. There, they found an old trunk containing items that belonged to the house's former owner. Among the objects were photos of missing children and a doll mask. Lucas noticed something even more chilling. One of the photos showed Emma's grandmother as a child, standing next to the man in black. A cry from the past. The attic discovery left Emma and Lucas terrified. Why was Emma's grandmother in the photo with the man in black? What connection did he have to the disappearances in Coal Pine? Determined to find answers, they continued searching through the trunk. Inside, they found an old journal written in elegant yet shaky handwriting, Emma's grandmother's. Reading the pages, Emma learned that her grandmother, Margaret, was the only survivor among the missing children of Coal Pine. The journal described nights of terror when a figure known as the Snowman would appear at her window, leaving dolls as a sign of his presence. Margaret wrote about the fear she felt, especially as her friends began to vanish. He comes when the bell strikes midnight. His eyes shine in the darkness, and his laughter echoes like the cold wind, one entry read. At the end of the journal was a phrase that sent chills down Emma's spine. He never forgets. Even after years, he always comes back. Suddenly they heard the church bell ring, but it wasn't midnight yet. Looking out the attic window, they saw the man in black standing in the backyard, staring directly at them. Lucas grabbed Emma and they ran downstairs. The house comes alive. Emma and Lucas decided to tell her parents everything, but when they went downstairs, they found the living room empty. The Christmas dinner was untouched, and the fireplace was cold. It was as if no one had been there. Emma called out for her mother and father, but there was no response. Lucas suggested they might have stepped out, but Emma knew something was wrong. As they walked through the house, they heard a strange sound coming from the kitchen. When they entered, they saw the doll sitting on the table, holding another note. This one read, "It's time to play." The lights began flickering, and the doors of the house locked themselves. Emma and Lucas were trapped. Hearing sinister laughter echoing through the walls, they ran back upstairs, hoping to find a safe place. But the house seemed alive, shifting so the hallways never led to the same place twice. Finally, they reached Emma's room, where they found more dolls scattered across the floor. They formed a circle, with one holding a clock. The hands struck exactly midnight. Before they could react, the clock chimed, and all the dolls began to move. A Christmas to never forget. Emma and Lucas were cornered. The dolls moved slowly, surrounding them while the snowman's laughter filled the house. Emma remembered her grandmother's journal and shouted for Lucas to grab a lighter from the attic. "He's afraid of fire," she recalled from one entry. While Lucas ran to fetch the lighter, Emma tried to fend off the dolls, but one of them managed to grab her ankle, pulling her to the floor. At that moment, Lucas returned, brandishing a makeshift torch. The fire caused the dolls to retreat, and the laughter stopped for a moment. With renewed courage, they ran to the attic, where they found an old mirror covered by a sheet. Remembering another passage from the journal, Emma said, "He's trapped here, in the reflection." They pushed the mirror to the floor, shattering it into pieces. The house fell silent. The dolls collapsed to the floor, motionless. When they went back downstairs, Emma's parents were in the living room as if nothing had happened. The next morning, no one believed their story, but Emma knew the nightmare was real. Before leaving the house, she found one last note on the Christmas tree. "I'll be back next Christmas." Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video. Also, activate the notification bell to stay updated on our posts. See you in the next video.